Hello guys, be here with La La Land Crafts, and today we're gonna be making a box card. And for this I'm gonna be using the Sky's the Limit clear stamp. This is not gonna be a coloring tutorial, but I will leave in the description box below all the colors that I use to color them, so don't worry about it. And then also the Candyland 6x6 paper pad. This paper pack is amazing, you guys. I'm gonna be using this for my background and this one for accents here and there. I'm also gonna be using the plain banners die. I have them here, two of the sentiments. Not sure which one I'll use just yet. It's the Safe Travels and I Just Plain Love You. We'll see as we go. And also I have here the Heart Trailed die and the Vintage Airplane, and this one that it's not from the January release, but I highly recommend you get this because you can use it with so many projects. And this is the double stitch rectangles die. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so for this part you will need a piece of cardstock that measures 7.5 by 4.5 inches, and this size is perfect because you can put it in a regular size envelope and then you can just mail it or give it to somebody. So I am showing you in a white cardstock, but my card base will be black cardstock. I thought it may be a little bit difficult to show you the measurements and the score lines on a black cardstock. Now we're gonna do some scoring. So from this corner you will score a line that measures 1.5 inches from the bottom corner all the way to the center, 1.5 inches on both sides. And here you can see my score lines. After this, grab your ruler and you're going to measure from this corner down 2 inches. So go ahead and from the score line down, measure 2 inches. And here's my little mark. Now, from the bottom corner up, you're also going to measure another 2 inches and add a little mark. So you see me here, it's 2 inches up. I'm just gonna grab my ruler and make another mark. Now go ahead and connect both marks with a straight line in a diagonal. With your ruler, just connect those two little pencil marks that you previously made, just like that. Now this part of our cardstock, we are just gonna cut it out. So with your scissors, cut down from the top to that pencil mark that we made at the beginning to connect the diagonal line. So this is the piece that we cut from here, and the best way to make it absolutely perfect and exact for me is to flip this piece over to the other side, and I'm just gonna cut the bottom part, the diagonal part, from the edge of the cardstock to the inside, and then I'm gonna remove this part and just cut along the scoring line down to that diagonal. And this is your box card base. Now we're going to fold in the sides and score them so they look nice and crisp. As you score these lines, I just want to mention, make sure that the bottom of your card aligns with the back panel of your card. Sometimes it shifts, so just make sure that it flushes with the bottom of the card. And this is how it looks. Now it's time to make the stage part of our card. Now for the inside of our card, we need to make kind of like a stage, a little stage or little levels. And for this, we're gonna need 3 pieces of cardstock. One of them measures 4 7/8 inches in length, and the width one is 1.5 the other one is 1 1/8, and the other one is 1 inch. But they all measure 4 7/8 inches in length. Now for each one of these, on both sides, we need to create a score line that is going to measure 1/4 inch. So let's go ahead and do that. So here I'm showing you with one of the pieces. I'm just going to score 1/4 inch from the edge. I'm going to flip around and score another 1/4 inch from the edge. And you are going to do this with all 3 pieces. Now with the 3 pieces of cardstock, go ahead and fold those lines that you just made. Now for this part, I like to use double-sided tape and my wet glue. I feel that when I do both, it reinforces this part, as we're going to, probably the person that's going to be receiving it's going to be opening and closing, and especially if you give it to a child. So make sure that you add the double-sided tape to the both sides of each of the pieces, the little scoring piece that we did on both sides on the 3 pieces. Go ahead and do that. Now go ahead and remove the backing of one side only of your 3 pieces of cardstock. For the sake of the video, I am not going to add the glue here, but just know that in my card I do add wet glue and not just the double-sided tape. Now it's time to add our 3 pieces of cardstock, and we are gonna start with the 1.5 inch one. I am gonna do a close-up here so you see what I'm doing. I am folding the little piece that we scored, and I am just adding it flush to the bottom of the card, but make sure that you add it close to the fold, but not so close that you cannot fold the card, that side of the card. Now we're gonna do the middle one, and in between the 1.5 inch one and this one, I am leaving about 1/2 inch in between them. I'm really not measuring, I'm just eyeballing it. That looks kind of the same space. And then the last one, which is the 1 inch one, for this one, make sure that you align it with both edges of the card, with the side edge, and make sure that it's flush as well with the bottom edge of the box card. So for this part, I have removed the backing of 2 of them. I don't do it with the 3 because for some reason I can never do it with the 3. It never looks good when I do with the 3. So I just do with 2, and then I remove the backing of the front part, and I make sure that it is flush with the bottom side of the card and also with the side. And this is how the box card should look like. And this is how it looks folded. You can fold it on either side to put in your envelope. Just make sure that your glue is completely dry before you fold. Now on to the fun part. Here is my cardstock, my black cardstock, as I told you. And then I have cut some decorating pieces with the Candyland paper pad. And for organization and for the sake of this video, we're gonna call this piece letter A. So our A piece is gonna measure 4 3/8 inches by 4 5/8. Piece B is going to measure 4 3/8 by 1 3/8. Piece C is going to measure 4 3/8 by 1 inch. Piece D is the front of our card, and as you can see here, I cut it with the same paper that I am cutting the back. I wanted to put that as the front of my card, and this piece measures 4 3/8 by 7/8. For the back of my paper, for this paper, I am going to use the double stitch rectangles die to cut out in the middle. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it and come back to show you. And this is how it looks like. I absolutely love it, and I have used the second biggest frame. Now, as we put this card together, I am going to speed through this part, not to bore you, and I'll see you at the end. And here I am adding the double-sided tape to my pieces here, and I will also add some wet glue to them, and we're gonna put them together just as I showed you in the beginning. You'll notice in this part that I actually removed the tape from the front one. I said, oh, I'm just gonna be brave and go for it. And here are my critters from the Sky is the Limit clear stamp set. Make sure to check in the description box below for all the markers I used. Here are my airplanes, and for them I didn't color with the markers. I actually used distress ink. I used Barn Door, Picked Raspberry, and Spun Sugar for the pink, Evergreen Bough and Salvaged Patina and Tumbled Glass for the green tealish one. And I saw these from one of my team members. I think it was Allison, that she put the critters inside the airplane, and I thought it was so stinking cute that I wanted to do it too. So shout out to Allison that I'm doing the same. And I did add some acetate to the little windows just to add a little something, and for them I'm just gonna add dimensionals to the back and glue them down. Now with one of my COPIC markers, B97, I'm just adding little dots here and there to the heart smoke. And this is how my card turned out. I absolutely love it. It's totally collapsible, so you can put it in your envelope, and because the sentiment overhangs, it's still, you can put it in the envelope. So I absolutely love how it turned out. Make sure to give the video a thumbs up. Make sure to follow and let me know in the comments if you'll be making this card. See you next time.